Good afternoon, sir, and how can I help you today?
Hi, I had a problem with one of my checks. For some reason, it didn't clear the account, and I have more than enough money, so there must be some sort of mistake.
Well, what's your account number, sir?
It's a 549-766-8855.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
Well, you're out of luck. Your account shows insufficient funds.
Wait, I have more than enough money in that account.
No, you don't.
Excuse me. Aren't you being a little rude?
No, you're the one that's being rude.
What is the problem here?
Problem? I don't have any problem. And you know why? Because I'm behind the glass.
This is ridiculous. I want to speak to the bank manager.
This is ridiculous. I want to speak to the bank manager. This is ridiculous. I want to speak to the bank manager.
I have been a customer of this bank for over 15 years. I want to speak to the bank manager now.
I'm the bank manager. What seems to be the problem?
I am just trying to get my money, and your teller here is the rudest, least helpful person I've ever met in my life.
I'm just trying to get my money, and your teller is the rudest, least helpful person I've ever met in my life.
Give me my money. Give me my money.
Hi, I'm really upset about my bank. I wish someone were nice to me.
Either you give me my money, or I'm going to First National.
I'm going to First National. I'm going to First National. You got no money. You got no money. You got your money. You can get your money.
Nothing like great customer service. Who hasn't experienced that? Let's go. Hey there, hi there, ho there. What's up, everybody? I'm Lorenzo. This is my comic son, Marcus. And every week we do the same thing, which is called the New Comic Book Day live stream. And every week it is brought to you by the Alternative City Shop. I not only love reading indie comics, but I've self-published several indie comics of my own. You can find them on my Alternative City Shop, which has a link below this video. There you'll find, along with my comics, t-shirts, stickers, and now you can pick up digital comics, including Ninja Bunny Assassin #1 and #2, which are both out of print. You find pins and magnets that I call CBOs, or comic book originals, which are buttons, magnets, and pocket mirrors that I make from superhero comic books. Yeah, man. That's it. What's happening?
Another day, another dollar, another new comic book day. I have not got my books yet. My shop has been having a lot of troubles getting the books, actually. I guess with Diamond, he's trying to figure out a new distributor with Penguin. And he hasn't gotten my books from last week, and he hasn't got my books from this week. So my shop's all messed up right now.
Damn.
He said it should all be cleared up by next week. If it's not cleared up by next week, it might be time for me to get a new shop.
Yeah, I mean, man, a little danger room with not having that many problems with getting their books out here. So,
and I'm missing so many issues from my pull list. It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah, might be let them know that he can be replaced.
I miss T-Fall, man.
Yeah, that took a lot.
I always got my books with them. They always sent them, man. T-Fall.
My comic shop is available. I'm telling you, they give you like a leeway after the first of the month. They let you pay on the 20th or after, up until that point. So there's not quite like T-Fall used to be, but it's a little bit more of a leniency. You know, there's a little space between like the last week of the month and the first week where you have to pay for everything on your FOCs. But if you just like use another. I use like Third Eye Comics because they have a very precise FOC list already prepared. I can have that on one tab, and then I'm looking at my comic shop on the other, and I can just pick whatever from whatever is going to be FOC that week from my comic shop list and go through that. And in a few minutes, you can get your orders done for the FOC, even for the future if you want. You know, but like I say, on the 20th, that's when it comes due. something to consider. You know, some stuff you gotta have. You just gotta have. You know.
Well, I've been going to the shop for 5 years now. I don't want to give them up, or 4 years now. I don't want to give them up, but we'll see.
I know how it is. Yeah, same. It's the same. You know, probably have a good relationship with the people there and all that. You know, so hate to do it, but you know, let them know your intention, and maybe they'll see they can make some shit happen. Step on some sacks.
We got the homies joining us as always tonight. My flavored whiskey brother, 80s guy, is in the house. What up, 80s guy? If you're ever looking for some ambient sounds or something just to chill to relax to, 80s guy has a channel where he's showing you scenes of a bridge and trains going by and boats going by and just the ambient sounds of a city. So if you're not subbed to 80s guy, you might check him out and see what's up. We got the homie Larry Love in the house, also known as
Larry Love, the DJ Your Mama Love, and the Tea Time movie. What's happening, brother?
What up, Larry? Good. Thanks for joining us as always.
Speaking of sounds, man, do you have the right mic on? You should have your A mic or your B mic on. You sound a little different, maybe.
Yeah, it's on the right mic. Yeah.
Is it? It's on the right one? Okay.
I don't know why.
It was just my setup is not hearing you that well, but
oh wait, it was kind of
chat. Does Marcus sound okay? Am I just hearing?
Is it just him, or am I sounding messed up? We got the lovely Miss Janet in the house, so I think we're going to be okay tonight, guys.
Lovely as always.
Everything will be fine. James Phelps is in the house joining us tonight. What up, James? Appreciate you joining us. My homie Wellbore is here. Not a pig, but an oiled rig or an oiled driller.
Not at all a pig, no.
For the longest time, I thought he was a well pig. I was wrong. What up, Wellbore? Good to see you, my man. Thanks for joining us.
Pig.
W. Frank Walk is in the
Hey, that's going to be our guest tonight. I was having trouble getting the link, but I'm glad he finally got it.
There we go. That's what's up. Looking forward to that. And we got Swords Forge in the house. Swords Forge, thanks for coming through, man. Good to see you.
Forge.
Maybe a little less bass than usual. I don't know. Yeah,
I was thinking, but you know, I'm always down for the more bass.
Let me see here.
Papa saying bass, Mama saying tenor. Oh, you.
How's that?
Johnny Cash and Carter family fans out there.
Does that sound any better? Does that change it at all?
Yeah. This sounds, the clarity is like incredibly more. I don't know about the bass, but yeah. Say something else.
Okay, there we go. I think that might have been what it was. I was on the default USB mic.
No. This sounds better. I mean, this sounds much more clear to me, I think. It's how you were a ways away. A ways away. That makes sense.
And it's okay, 80s guy. I've been shaving my head long before I lost my hair, so it ain't no thing. I started shaving my head in high school. And real quick, and I found out I was bald, kind of like Elaine's boyfriend in an episode of Seinfeld. I haven't seen a lot of Seinfeld, but I did see this episode where she was dating this guy who shaved his head, and she saw pictures of him with hair, and she was like, "Why don't you grow your hair out?" And he's like, "All right, sure, yeah, I'll grow it out." And then he grows it out, and it's like, "Oh no, it doesn't." That's what happened to me. I was like 20. I was like 25. I was like, and I've been shaving my head since I was 18. I was like, "Let me grow my hair. I want to grow a fro," and that fro was not. That fro was not thick. So I had to quit my hair before it quit me. So yeah, have your fun, 80s guy. It's all good.
Oh, look what Larry says here. He picked up Mommy Block, Be Not Afraid. Hey, I think you liked it too. Yeah, you're welcome, sir. Yes, I did like that. Was a surprise. It was very wordy, but it was a good comic. You know, as long as if you're going to be wordy, you better be good. Don't just be spouting a bunch of nonsense at me.
Unfortunately, James, I do not have a perfect head. They called me Peanut Head growing up because I got a bit of a peanut head, but I'll take it.
Yeah. Don't let them shape the way that you view yourself.
Oh, dude, I'm quite secure. Don't worry about me.
There's no problem with that, I'm sure.
I need you to make fun of me to keep me in check, to keep my ego in check. It's necessary.
Wow, that's quite a statement.
Shout out to Legion of Comics.
Well, What up? What up? Hey, well, like I said, we have a guest today. I'm not going to dally or dilly too much at 6:30. It is W. Frank Walk, the gentleman, and he is the writer of Hellstones, which is his comic book. He's going to tell you about that and how to get that, all that jazz. So, and it stands on Palestine, yes.
and since we're here, I might as well say it. Our guy Parker Newman, City of Demons, Wiseacre Comics, is 30 minutes away.
30 minutes away.
So he is funded. He did get his $2,000 goal, but of course, more money, more books is the better. So this is, if you were thinking about backing Parker, guys, time is running out. You have 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes to do it. So go ahead and click that link and get in where you fit in while you still can.
Yes. Click it. Don't tick it. All right. These are so many perfect heads. Oh, I see. That's what I see. Now I got the conversation. Now I just got it out of order. What's wrong with Seinfeld? Oh, yeah. I've heard a little bit about that. Yeah. Y'all can look that up if you're interested.
Yeah, I never watched Seinfeld really. I never got into it. I don't really think Seinfeld's funny. But the thing I don't think he's funny. But the other big reason why I didn't watch Seinfeld is because like the idea of a New York City with no minorities in it, it's like it's ridiculous.
That was minority. Just one part of the main four.
Yeah, there was very few. I guess I haven't watched the show, so I can't speak with authority. But when I did see it, it was a city full of white folks, and it was weird.
Now, I didn't watch many Friends, but I didn't see a black face on Friends either. That's another case of a city full of white folks.
That was another show I did not watch. I never got into those two shows.
The Seinfeld I did dig just because of the oddness of it all, and just that the people were just like they've taken that same formula and done it with It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's like a lower class Seinfeld. Seinfeld was upper class. Was that?
People say that show is great. I watched the first season and I didn't think it was
Sunny
great.
or Seinfeld.
Always Sunny. People say that Always Sunny is a great show. I watched the first season. I didn't think it was that funny, but people say it gets way better after the first season. So I might go back to it.
Sometimes that style of humor doesn't fit with everybody. With what It's Always Sunny did, they took the whole Seinfeld formula of the four friends living in the city, and they put them in Philly, which is like the anti-New York. And these people are just like, the Seinfeld guys, they were kind of lovable a little bit, but they were really kind of stuck up, people. But the Always Sunny they were just a bunch of reprobates. And then from the beginning, the first episode is like the gang gets racist. And that's just like it just goes from there, But I watched many seasons of both Seinfeld and It's Always Sunny, and I found both of them funny to some degree. Yeah, Friends. Yeah, these guys when Friends and all that was going on, and Frasier and what it was the other thing they had on Must See TV on NBC. I was watching what is it, Living Single, Martin, and New York Undercover. That was what I was watching.
Those were the shows, dog. That was it.
Martin, New York Undercover. That was my must see TV right there for many years.
Yeah, hell yeah, it was.
And later on, I discovered Cheers more of to a more degree, and also Frasier, which I found amusing to some degree. So, but not during their time when they were in prime time. Hey, what's up there, my bro from another Mo? What's up there? TN Games. Thomas, what's happening? Good to see you, my friend. Yeah, so that's what's happening with that. And I'm going to do the, let's see, is there any other further business at hand?
No, let's get to it so we can get to this guest.
All those in favor? Never mind. I just go from here. All right, so, working. I lurk and work myself many times. Stuff that I picked up. I have plenty of time for the guest here. Things from mycomicshop.com. Speaking of places to get good comic books, Justice Society number 1C. Remember when they were doing all these shiny covers of the Justice Society back a couple of years ago, and they were like $9 a piece. I think this one was like a couple of bucks. So it was a pretty nice shiny cover for a couple of bucks. Can't really complain about that. A couple of bucks. This is one I was looking for a long time. A 1 in 10 for Vicarious number 3. This is a Dan Panosian cover. Love me some Dan Panosian covers. This is a guy that started off as a Liefeld clone, more or less. And he was like, pretty much aping the style of Rob Liefeld. And look at him now. Look at him now. He's just all over the place. Bad self. There was a new History of the DC Universe number 1 recently. I don't know that much about the DC Universe. I thought I'd pick up one of them. I did. This is the Dan Mora cover. Dan Mora with the classic Wonder Woman. This is like the guy that invented Wonder Woman. This is the way he used to draw her. This is kind of cool. Drawn more nicely because it's Dan Mora doing it.
Yeah,
what's that guy named? William Marsden? William something Marsden or something. I don't remember the name. But he was kind of an interesting guy. The guy that created Wonder Woman. I want to Google him and read his story.
We got a couple of sneaking in here. We got Gabriel sneaking in. I think he's giving us a license plate or something. I don't know what that is. We also got Thomas Niggle in the house, lurking and working. Thanks for stopping by. TM Nerdy is in the house as well. What up, TM? He's been doing some interviews lately, so check his channel out if you're not plugged into that. All right.
There must be a delay. I just mentioned both of those. Like,
sorry.
But I'm not. What happened? All right. Good looking out though. Appreciate you. And another one, that same book with a different cover. This is Stanley R. Germ Lau. I loved it. That dude. I love this so much. This is the shiny cover. I pre-ordered it, got it for 35% off from mycomicshop.com. That's the only way to get these shiny, expensive books. It is awesome. It is shiny. I don't care if it's worth anything or not. I may just get it, slabbed so I can hang it on the wall because I love stuff that looks like this.
You don't have any slabs on your wall, though.
I don't. But so, I mean, I can't.
Really are you gonna?
I don't have much wall room. I mean, I don't have look at my. It's just doors.
Plenty of space for that Hulk poster.
But
see, I'm with the Applebee's. Look, you see my room. It's full of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like if I got a whole, I don't know. I feel like I'm flexing too much if I have a whole bunch of stuff out there. But I don't know. To each their own. To me, I pull my stuff out and talk about it, but I don't want to hang it up on the walls all the time. So to each their own.
I love it.
You like it? I love it. Benjamin, number 1, was a really cool thing. Speaking of Fraser Crane, this is the 1 in 10. This was about what? About less than $10, about $7 for this one. So the Benjamin was very good. The Philip K. Dick based character was Benjamin, or is Benjamin, I should say. That's all from my comic shop, from the actual comic shop today. Only went to one. I went to Danger Room, and that one had some dollar books. And among those dollar books was this one here, which is, I don't remember anything about this because it's back in the $2.99 comic book era. So it was probably a million Spider-Man books coming out then. But I like the cover, and this is signed by one of the creators. Like, his name is S. Sava, the creator, the artist on here, which looked like he's using like some early form of modeling software to illustrate this book. To be honest, didn't look that great, but I got it because it was signed and it was only $1, and he was like, it's only $1 and it's signed and it's the first issue, so it's kind of cool to have. So Spider-Man Quality of Life. I don't know if anybody remembers or cares about that series. I don't remember it. We'll see if I care about it.
Shout out to Brian. Real quick, Brian LCS sneaking in. The man, the myth, the legend behind the Comic Book Community Awards. Link is in the chat, guys. Get over there. Support Lorenzo for best comic book review. We may never win it. but it's nice to be on the stage. So definitely get over there and nominate Lorenzo for Best Review Channel. Once again, let's do it again. Links in the chat. And shout out to Chris, Chaos and Comics. And IS Fergus. What up?
Respectfully to you and to Brian, you know, I would prefer not to be named this year. I mean, that's one thing that Sleepy did, Damien did. He just kind of took his name out of the running. I was like, you know, I feel the same way. I mean, everybody that's up for a nomination and all that stuff, God bless them. You know, good luck with everything, Brian. I appreciate it, but that's not how I got into this. That's not why I got into this. You know, I'm just in it for the love of the game. I'm not trying to compete with anybody, and it doesn't matter to me. So, hey, this is something I love to do. So, use your vote for somebody that you really think you might win this thing.
Don't listen to Lorenzo. Nominate Lorenzo. I don't care. Do it anyway.
I'll mute your fucking mic. No, listen to me. Listen to what I'm saying right now. I don't want to be nominated. Okay, listen to me now. If nominated, I will not run. If elected, I will not serve. This is what I'm telling you now. So listen to me. Thank you very much and good night. Well, that's it. All right. So also the second thing I got here from the dollar bin is Sonic Disruptors. And this is, I don't know if anybody remembers Steve Barron. Steve Barron did some stuff with Steve Rude, a couple of Steves. And they did Nexus for, I forget which for the company that was. So the Sonic Disruptors by DC, this is like from 1987. Never heard of it, but I wanted to take a quick look at it and see if I like it, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, he's not playing. Yeah, Janet, you ain't lying.
Man, hey, listen to me now and hear me later. All right. The Power Fantasy. The Power Fantasy, we're just talking about how this is like an adult's superhero comic book. Not saying that other ones are not, but this is like a very, very cool book that does not use capes and masks and all that stuff, but is still very exciting. This has reached issue number 10 already. I can't believe it's already been around that long. Love it. Check it out. Absolute Superman. Absolute Superman. All in. Number 9. Have not caught up on this yet. It looks like it's fun. Can't wait to catch up on it. I left off at issue number 4, I think, or 5. Way behind on it. This was a game time decision. I was going to get a different cover, but this is all that they had. The story was a Francesco Francavilla cover, so I got that one. This is Archie. Kevin Smith presents Archie and Jay and Silent Bob. Jay and Silent Bob. There we go. Gotta be fun. FML. Indeed. Number 5. I thought this might be the last one in this series, but it is not. It is not the last one. I checked the last page without trying to get a spoiler, but this is a number 5 in that ongoing series, I guess. Been pretty good so far. Yes, absolutely, Mr. Fergus. It has been quite nice. What's this? Darth Lopez? What's happening? Thanks for holding the water. Oh, go to the bathroom real soon, man. Okay,
yeah, it's carrying water, not holding water.
I don't know. Carrying, holding. I'd see take some pills for that water retention.
Yeah, there was a large number of covers for that Archie book.
Large number, huge number. Beneath the trees, nobody sees. Rite of Spring. This is the big one of the week, as we was the Penultimate Book last week, as we all know. This is the A cover, and I was lucky enough to get the 1 in 10 cover also from the Danger Room for a very decent price, and that is summary of all the books that I picked up this week.
Looking forward to that one. Hopefully, it's good.
I think it's can't miss. If there's anything it's a can't miss, I think it's going to be that one. I thank you. Hey, we see TM Nerdy. What's up, Travis? All right. Oh, gosh. All right, so we're going to get to our guest now. We have plenty of time for him. And I'm going to bring up him. Maybe I should add this first. See if I can do it without screwing everything up. Yeah, it's called Hellstones. And this is a promotional copy that he sent me, and I did get a chance to read that preview copy. I think I can actually move these. Oh, that's pretty cool. You can go back and forth without clicking off the screen, which is helpful. Just thinking out loud here, folks. Don't mind me. All right, he's already here. So let's bring out the man himself, W. Frank Walker. He can tell us all about this wonderful book that he's got going on. How you doing, sir? How you prefer to be addressed? W. Frank or
Frank works for me. Frank works for me.
All right.
How's it going, gentlemen?
What up?
Good. Doing
Looks
good.
like we're on Kickstarter with this one. It looks like, yeah.
That's right. Yeah, campaign's been live for 2 weeks now, since the 25th of last month. We're already sitting at about 119% funded, so things are going well.
But that don't mean he don't want you guys to back it as well, guys. Just because he's over his funding goal doesn't mean that the more the merrier is not still true. So link is in the chat, guys, if you're interested. And
yeah, you're absolutely right. 100% means that the cost that I put into making the prologue comic is now covered. We want to move forward and get the next book rolling. Anything that's over that 100% goes straight towards that.
There you go. Sounds great. I missed the Kickstarter. I was looking on your on the thing you sent me. I should have checked your Instagram and gotten the Kickstarter link. I could have put that in the thing, but here's a link in the chat, so you can get that. I'll put it in the description after the show too. So tell us a little bit about this book here.
Yeah, absolutely. So you just going over your recent polls, and you'd mentioned this one's a little more adult, doesn't have any capes or masks, and that's Hellstones, man. There's no, it's not a superhero comic. There's no capes, no spandex. You know, there's clearly a place for that in the world. I love that stuff. Grew up with that stuff, but you know, I wanted to write something that felt a little more real, a little more gritty, a little more grounded. Consequences that are a little more mature. And yeah, I mean, it's a supernatural action series that explores the dynamics of power and corruption and what it costs to do the right thing when the world's burning down around you. How much of your self and your morality are you willing to sacrifice for the greater good? The overarching kind of adage of the whole thing is, you know, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
Ain't that the truth?
So, yeah, right. So, you know, it's kind of got like some of the, like my influences are like, you know, like it's got some of like the grit of like Spawn, some of the like psychological and actions aspects of like The Crow, and some mystic undertones, kind of like Sandman. Those are just the influences for me, and I really wanted to hone in on all of that and just make something my own.
Okay. So as I saw, it looks like there was this fight between angels and something. Their wings, parts of their wings were broken off in this battle, and those wings, those parts were called Hellstones, and they contained immeasurable power for whoever ran across them. Am I anywhere close to being correct on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So what we're seeing here on this page is the origin of the Hellstones, where they came from. And we have the classic fight between Michael and Lucifer getting kicked out of heaven. And that happens when Michael, you know, clips Lucifer's wings, so to speak. His wings are then floating through the void of time and space and decaying over time, and eventually these fossilized remnants of his wings land on Earth, and those are what are known as the Hellstones.
Wow. Okay. Very cool.
Yeah. Each stone possesses its own unique ability, and people and corporations and cults are, you know, everyone's always jockeying to get these items for their own ends, of course. And in the middle of it all, we have our main character, Sam, who, you know, is just trying to do the right thing and trying to, you know, keep these stones out of other people's hands that might want to use them for nefarious means.
Wow.
I'm getting Lord of Rings vibes for sure.
Sure, maybe a little bit, yeah.
Tell us about your artist. They look pretty good, man. I like the colorists too. How did you find them, and how'd that work out?
Sure. So yeah, I'm the colorist.
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Yeah. That's how I got into the indie comic scene in general, is as a colorist. And it was finally my time to tell my own story. I finally had the knowledge of knowing how to go into production and storyboard and all that stuff. So I was like, I got the story I want to tell. I now have that knowledge, so let's use it. But I did everything on this book aside from the line art. The line art is a gentleman named Epilose Paul, who is fantastic. I vetted a lot of different artists, and to me, being a colorist, I was very specific on what I wanted to see out of the line art that would help allow me to play to my strengths as a colorist. And I really feel that we just jived and connected on this a lot.
Yeah, it's you see an indie book and you can kind of tell that it's indie, but this doesn't look so indie. It looks really good, man.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I poured everything I could into this. Being in the indie scene as a colorist, and I see how things sometimes get made, and people have the greatest intentions, but maybe they don't have the ability to look inward, or maybe listen to criticisms and maybe do what they can to maybe step up the game a little bit, or realize what they can't do themselves, maybe find somebody that can. And I wanted to do everything right. I listened to everybody. I listened to so many podcasts, listened to all of my peers, and I'm like, this Kickstarter campaign is going to be dope. This trailer is going to be amazing. I'm putting everything I can to make this book look professional as I can. And I'm just so proud of it, man. So I appreciate what you said. Thank you. It means a lot.
You should be proud, man. It looks great.
Yeah, good coloring is not easy.
No, but I love the puzzle though. Man, I got ADHD, so if I can get a hold of a good puzzle and hyper focus in on something, that's why coloring works so well for me.
That's something that I've come to learn as I return to comic books. You don't really understand the role of the inker, the role of the colorist, the things that make it so important. But now that I've been collecting books for a while, I have such an appreciation for what a colorist can do to a page, and I'm definitely seeing that here.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I like to say as a colorist, we breathe life into other people's line art.
Yeah.
There are plenty of black and white books out there that are fantastic. Don't get me wrong. But, I mean, if you add some color onto it, even if it's just a little bit of color in the right way, can just change the mood of something completely.
A good colorist can save a book.
Absolutely.
They make a mediocre book great, I think. This is my opinion.
No, I'm with you. I have polished a few turds.
I'm sure. Wow. So what's your introduction to comics to collect? I mean, this is your first, I don't mean this is your first, that's another question too, but what got you into reading comics as a youngster or whenever you started to get into comics?
Oh yeah. For me, it was the barbershop. The barber always had a stack of magazines, and every now and again some comic books sitting out there for the kids to sit down and behave. So for me, it was just grabbing up whatever comic was lying around and just getting fascinated over the art and over the images and over the color, and not understanding what was on the page. I mean, I was 6-7 years old or whatever, but just looking at all just the cool action and people fighting and magic and powers. That's how I got in real early.
Did you have a favorite book, or would you just anything comics is cool comics? I just want to look at some pretty colors and
yeah. When I was younger, especially once I understood story, the words on the page, I really loved Spider-Man. I'm an 80s kid, so the late 80s, early 90s, Spider-Man was huge for me back then. X-Men was huge for me back then, and I always loved Ghost Rider. I just thought he was just badass.
Oh,
I mean, just leather and chains and spikes and a flaming skull, and I was like, that's my dude.
Yep. Yep. That's one of the
very 90s.
For sure. But yeah, that's kind of what I was into comic book wise, really. And then I kind of fell out of comics. In 2005, I was in a house fire, kind of lost everything. So I just didn't have the heart to to collect anything anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd always, someone would recommend a good read, or a buddy of mine would hand me a book and be like, "Yeah, you got to check this out." I'd go and check it out. I'd go out of my way, but stopped, having a pull bag, just because I was like, I'm just gonna lose it all again. I'm just gonna live minimal. I mean, I'm over that now. That was, we're talking 20 years at this point.
Yeah, but it's quite a shock to have to go through something like that. I can imagine, and that's
real bummer. Luckily, no one was hurt. It was just loss of material items, which was a bummer too, but could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, thank God. Oh, this is your first venture into creating your own comic, or have you done it before?
Yeah, into my own comic, yes. This is the first venture. Last year, I actually released a children's color and creativity book. I partnered with a company that's local to Omaha, Nebraska, where I'm at, called Project Harmony. They help children and families that are suffering from abuse and trauma. And for every copy that was sold, we donated a copy. And
cool.
That was fantastic. Donated over $1,000 worth of books to them. It was awesome. And that's kind of how I learned the copyright side of things, the authoring side of things, which was the next stepping stone into doing my own book. I had to know all that stuff before I could do this.
That's awesome.
And, with Hellstones, it's going to be a 12-book series. It's already written. It's already done. I just got to do the line art and of course the coloring and lettering. But otherwise, the entire story is already written.
That's huge. Because a lot of times, you start a project and I'll finish it eventually, and you kind of maybe hit a wall, and you're like, how am I going to wrap this thing up here? I'm at issue number 8, and I can't figure out how to get to number 12. But you got it already done, man. You're pretty golden. I mean, you can you just got to get the script to the artist and do the coloring, and let's go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and that's why crowdfunding is so important, because making books isn't cheap. I mean, I'm trying to do it to where I can pay for it up front and then hope that I get enough support to recoup what I can, rather than doing it the other way, putting a Kickstarter campaign or crowdfunding campaign up there, asking for money so I can go into production, and then you got to wait a year to maybe even, get your book. I don't want to do it that way. I'm a consumer first. I'm a fan first. So I want to have the product on lock, then say, hey, I'd love your support, and I can get you a copy, and you don't have to wait. So that's what I'm hoping to do here. But
way to do it. Very smart.
Yeah. But writing it, man. I don't fancy myself a writer. I mean, maybe a little more now that I've written all of this, I have a better understanding of it all. I've always been a creative person. I've always liked creative writing. I might write a one-pager on a character that I think is cool or something like that. Wrote a little poetry back in the day, but never took anything very seriously. And I've been writing Hellstones off and on since 2015. I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, so I'd always put it away for a long time, come back to it, maybe add a little more. But then once I understood comic production, I was like, oh, I have this story. That would be great for a comic. So then I sat down, buckled down for about 6 months and just wrote. Just wrote. That's all I did.
Yeah, I was going to ask, well, what was the impetus of this? What started it going? You just sat down, I'd like to write a comic, and it just all built up from there?
No, like I said, I've been writing it off and on since 2015, and it started back when I was working a really boring desk job, and I was like, maybe I'll do some creative writing to pass the time. Sometimes I'd sketch, sometimes I'd watch YouTube, whatever. This day I was like, let's do a little creative writing. And I was like, if I was to have a a hero of a book, what would I want to see out of this hero? I was like, well, I think I'd want a strong female lead. Let's do that. And the big chest and tight clothes. I mean, that's not what the story I want to tell. Let's just make her just an average, everyday, just kind of just a chick, So that's where I started. And then I was like, okay, so what's the antagonist going to be? And me, being the old school punk rock kid that I am, I was like, the corporations, it's damn the man,
Yeah.
And so that's where I went that route. And I was like, so what's the struggle? What are they fighting over? And right around that same time, I had just started like rewatching like Kevin Smith's Dogma. So that's where like that like a little bit of like religious influence, the occult all kind of came in. And I just wrote a little one pager that day. And I didn't think anything of it. And a coworker of mine went to school for script writing. And I ran it by him. I was like, I think this is pretty cool. What do you think? He's like, hey, this is pretty unique sounding. Why don't you sit on it for a year? Don't think about it. Go back to it. And if you still have an itch to scratch with it, start developing it. And that's what I did. I sat on for like a year and a half. I didn't even think about it. And I was going through some of my old files and I was like, oh yeah, this was cool. Reopened it. And then I would just do that off and on for pretty much the next decade. Just revisit it every now and again, just slowly world build. But it wasn't, like I said, it wasn't until probably August, September of last year where I really like sat down and knew what I wanted to do and had an end goal and decided to really flush it all out.
That's amazing. That's funny. I do that sometimes. I'll have an idea and I'll write it down. I'll use index cards. I'll just write, this thing and okay, this thing, this, and I'll just like, that's all I got. And I'll just put it in the other pile of index cards and I'll just go through them one day like, did I write this? Damn, that's amazing. I should do something with that probably, So that's one method of doing it. Wow.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, for one person to take on. It really is. And I don't know that too many indie creators really talk about that load that it really puts on a person. When you want to make something great, but you don't really have the support or you don't have artist friends that can help or any of that. And you just kind of got to figure it out and do it. And you hope that people like it.
Yes.
I know about that. Unfortunately for me, they rarely do, but we'll keep plugging away.
Don't give up.
No, definitely don't give up.
Whatever you do, man. So this is looking good here.
So, this is issue 0.
This is the
is it a full issue? Or is it a short issue? Or
it's 7 pages, and then there's 4 or 5 pages of some bonus content. I put the original 1-page story in the book as well at the end as one of the bonus pages of like the original concept that I wrote. I just copy and pasted it from my original file, and figured it'd be cool to just kind of include that and kind of see the little differences. But I mostly stuck to that 1-pager, especially for book 0. Just as an introduction to just kind of set it up, like, what's the world we're living in? What are these Hellstones? What do they do? There's not much action in this one just because it is a setup.
Yeah.
But the next book, right out of the gate, right on the first page, you see Sam running through the jungles of Brazil being hunted by mercenaries. So I was like, well, I said it was a supernatural action series. It is. And I didn't deliver that necessarily on the prologue. So we got to open up with it on the next book.
Very nice. And are you done? How many issues are you done with? Or is it just 0 so far? Or
0 is the only one that's all the way through the letters and colors and inking process. Everything else, I'm currently working on the storyboard, but the script's already done for everything.
Very cool. All right, so it's written, but as far as the art, yeah.
Correct. Yeah, the art's the only thing that's not done yet on anything else, and that's just we got to see how this Kickstarter goes.
So the Kickstarter is for issue number 0.
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Okay,
That's right. It's for issue number 0.
So it is a low, it's an easy entry point if you're interested in jumping in. He's not asking for $30, $40, $50 here at the, for the signed physical copy. It's only $9, guys. So, what's $9?
Physical copy?
What's $9 to support indie comics? That's nothing, guys. Let's do it.
That's right. That's right. Like I said, I'm a consumer. I'm a fan on the other end of things. I want to make things easy and accessible. I get it. We're in tough times. Sometimes I might not even have $10, but I'd appreciate if you could find 9 in your pocket.
We'll find it. By gum. We'll make it happen. It's very cool. Wow. All right. And I looked at your. Oh, okay. This is from the. This is like the sketches from the main story here without the inking. You said your artist did the inking and the line art and the pencil art as well?
Yeah, the pencils and the inks. Yeah,
same person. Okay, it's pencils and ink. And the letterer is that?
That'd be me.
Get the lettering. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Man, this is.
You've made some money here, up to 931. Now let's go, guys. Pump it
up. All right. I appreciate you all.
Go on, keep it moving.
I'm in on it. I couldn't resist it. I'm down for it.
Thanks, man. I really think I have something a little different for people.
Absolutely. I mean, we're all down for these kind of comics, and indie comic world needs a lot more promotion because, hey, if you don't have big budgets, nobody's going to promote your stuff, man. That's the thing.
Yeah, that goes back to what I was saying before of, listening to your peers and understanding what your strengths and weaknesses are as a creative person. And I know line art isn't mine. So I found someone that was better at the line art so I could do everything else myself and hopefully keep the costs low.
The fact that you can do coloring, though, is amazing, though. You've done coloring before. Are you self-taught with that, or how did you learn how to color so well?
Thank you. I appreciate it. Lots of hard work, man. but yeah, I'm pretty much self-taught. I mean, the internet's a great tool. There's lots of people on not lots, but there's plenty of people on YouTube that have their own opinions on how to color, stuff like that.
YouTube University.
Yeah. Color theory is a very large subject, full of different opinions and stuff like that. So it's really hard to suss all that stuff out. But you just got to put your nose to the grindstone and put in the work. And that's what I've been doing. I'm glad you like the color work. I really do.
Oh, absolutely, I do.
Yeah, and you're a man after Lorenzo's heart. Lorenzo likes to do the writing, the inks, the colors, all that. But you're doing most of it, and Lorenzo's a big fan of those writer-artist combos for sure. Right. And I'm sure that's a big help for you in terms of funding it, right? You don't have to pay for all these guys because you're doing it yourself.
That's right. That's right.
Wow. And that is good stuff, man.
Well, we're up to 931 guys, but the more the merrier. The link is in the chat. I also put the link to his Instagram if you want to plug in and stay up to date on what's going on with this Hellstones. And then I also put in a cool time lapse on his Instagram showing his coloring style. And it's a great example of why I would never be a colorist. I don't have anything like that skill whatsoever. It's pretty cool, though, watching you do it on that time lapse.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that. I stream every now and again on YouTube. I hang out and I color live. And sometimes people will hit me up and ask me about a coloring technique or a certain subject. Sometimes it's even like, how do I use this tool in Clip Studio or something like that? And I'll address those things during a live stream and engage with people. I have a couple of tutorials out on my YouTube as well of how to flat comics and my color rendering process. I put a short tutorial on there as well. So anybody out there that's aspiring to be a colorist, don't be afraid to hit me up. I'd love to talk all day, and I know it can be hard to find some guidance and mentorship. And I'm not a gatekeeper. I'm happy to share the love, share the knowledge, and take the time.
I was going to ask what your favorite app of choice is. You use Clip Studio as opposed to Photoshop?
I do. Yeah. I like Clip Studio a lot better for,
Yeah, me too.
for this process. Yeah. Photoshop is great, but I mean, there's just so much of Photoshop that isn't what I need to do my job.
100%.
And I also don't like the subscription model stuff.
I hate it.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Remember when you used to buy something and you owned it? You don't own anything anymore.
No.
You're leasing everything.
That's their wet dream, though. That's the corporate wet dream.
Oh,
you don't own anything, but you owe us every month. We can take it away from you and increase the price at any time. So you don't own it yourself. Screw that. But the kind of Clip Studio was like that too, except they give it to you for a year. Or, it's...
they recently switched to that model a year or two ago, yeah.
Yeah, do they still do it with just the mobile devices and you own it for the desktop, or do it's just
It's the same for both mobile and desktop now.
Is it really? Wow,
Yeah.
I used it on a desktop for so long. I didn't know. I'm real close. The only thing that's keeping me from just dropping Clip Studio and going to Procreate is that Clip Studio is much more powerful.
Yeah.
And you can do a lot more things with Clip Studio. And like you said, Photoshop was back in the day, all there was Photoshop. So all the comic book people had to use Photoshop because that's the only app that existed to color comics with. And now they know that every other app is improved upon their model. So now Clip Studio is blowing them out of the water.
Yeah, and at least for the time being, Clip Studio with every enhancement they put out, it seems like they're at least listening to the artist community still.
Yes.
Once they get too big for their britches and stop
And
listening to the artist community, then I'm sure I'll find an alternative.
And there will be one. There's always somebody coming up behind, like, okay, this guy has gotten too big for his britches. He's charging way too much or whatever.
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, Clip Studio at the time, but it's still now it's made for comic book manga creators and animators. Even animating Clip Studio, it's made for that creation. It's not made for also people retouching their photographs.
Right?
Don't use that. I don't need that.
Yeah. When I first bought it, it wasn't even called Clip Studio. It was called Manga Studio.
Yeah, man. You're an old head, man. Back in the day, exactly about it. Yeah. Yeah, and with the for people I know, you say you draw somewhat, you doodle, I guess, in your spare time. Do you use Procreate at all for that? Have you ever tried Procreate?
No, I've actually never tried Procreate. I kind of found what I needed and I've just stuck with it.
Yeah, I mean that Procreate is not really good for anything except sketching and drawing and a little bit of coloring. But it's getting better and better, and it's such an affordable app, and there's no subscription. You buy it and you have it for life. Whereas Clip Studio, it's just a huge machine that you can do everything with. That as far as comic book production goes, that's what's they know they've got you about as short and curlies. They're going okay, we got you now, baby. We're gonna make you pay more. We're gonna make you subscribe to us and all that. But it still have a good product.
It's on my list to check out. I'm looking to actually get a new tablet. That way I have something for on the go. So I think that's probably what I'll end up going with. I have so many artist friends that are always talking about it. So I mean, it's got to be worth it.
Yeah. That's awesome. I mean, but it's for drawing. Like it's great for drawing, but it just doesn't have a lot of power like Clip Studio, which is just like it's the shit right now. It's the main thing. But back to your book. The main thing is you get your book funded, and it's you say it's already funded or it's very close to being funded.
It is at goal currently. Yes.
Is that goal?
Over. Yeah, he's over.
We're over. Yeah.
Okay, we're just doing stretch goals. Okay, well, make it happen, folks. Make it happen. The link is down there. This is a time lapse link. But man, make it happen. Get this man some stretch goals, and it's a great book. It's Hellstones, and this is a man that's writing it. And man, thank you for coming on. As we anything else you want to say? But before we let you go, as far as this book,
pick it up, guys. It's not expensive. I think you're gonna like it. Support indie, support artists. We're a smaller community, and we got to support each other. So I really appreciate it. it was once told to me that one of the most valuable things that you can give somebody is your time. So I really appreciate you guys making space for me and giving me your time.
I appreciate you coming on, man. We all appreciate you being here and sharing it with us. And
yeah, man. This is the place for indie comics. If you want to see indie comics, you got to support them. And shout out to the chat for supporting this one tonight. I do see we jumped up a little bit. And you got plenty of time to, or you got not plenty of time, but you got time to do it. So if today's not the day, you can do it tomorrow, the next day. Wait till payday if you want to. Link will still be there. Well, we have a few days left here. 22 days left. So you got time to get. You already hit the goal with 22 days left. That's pretty awesome. So it's all gravy from here.
Mr. Fergus wants to hook up and maybe collaborate with you. Wants I think you guys are both on Instagram. Y'all know each other?
We do not, but always looking forward to meeting new artist friends. So hit me up, man.
Yeah, he was a guest on a few months ago. So I've seen this work, and both you guys are great creators. So maybe you can cook up something together. Who knows? I mean,
let's do it. I'm down.
Any comics reviews also is a matchmaker between creators. So it's a place to be. It's literally in the name, Indie Comics. Yes. All right. So man, thank you so much for coming on, sir. We appreciate you, and the best of luck. And I'm gonna check out your Kickstarter, as the rest of y'all should.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Have a great evening.
You too.
Bye. And that's awesome.
And I found Matthew's Instagram page here.
Matthew. What is Matthew's thing here? I just want to step on my man's work here. I want to give him time, but feel free to share the share the image, as he is a supernatural and grim inspired comic available on Global Comics here. And where is it you got it, Marcus?
I just put a link to his Instagram in the YouTube.
There's a link to his Instagram right there. And what else we got? I think that's all we got for Matthew right there.
Yeah, I don't.
It's called the Night Slayer.
Yeah, I don't see a link for. I see a link to a giveaway, but it's over, so I'm not sure what other link I could give.
All right, well, hey, you got the traffic coming your way now, Matthew. So it's all on you. Good luck with your project. Here's Mr. Fergus here. The comic I'm writing is called Equalic.
Easy for you to say.
Not really. Okay. Okay. Oh, right. Equal is the artist. Okay. I'm going to read one of these days. Yeah. All right. So there it is. Check out my man W. Frank Walks. He goes by Frank, and this book is called Hellstones. And you got the link down there in the chat, and I'll put it in the description after. Which I should have done before, but I'll do it in post, as they say. All right. So what are we doing here? It's about time for what's good, I'd say.
Nothing for me, as usual. I am working on a new video for Not All Robots, and I'm pumped about it. I can't make the script not suck yet, but we'll get there.
You're so hard on yourself.
Oh, it sucks.
I wish I knew more, but I only read the first issue of that one. It was okay, and I just didn't follow up on it. But I heard you guys rave about it a lot, so maybe
I tell you, the book. The reason why I came back to this is I read it again, and just the parallels to what's going on in the world today are insane. With AI, with robotics, with drone warfare, we're getting like the world that is foretold in this book by Mark Russell seems so feasible. And just real quick, the thing I really want to come across with in my review of this book is, in this book, you have this conflict between humans and robots, and it's like the left versus right conflict, right? The culture war, if you will, where they're fighting each other, they're protesting each other, they're being mean to each other on social media, snarky on 24-hour news. But the left versus right, the humans versus robot, is not the real issue. That conflict's not the real issue, because you have the ruling council who makes money either way. It doesn't matter to the ruling council who wins, who loses, who dies. It doesn't matter to them at all. But they fight this battle between the two like it is the battle. And that's the point I want to come across. I think the left versus right battle that we see in this country, this culture war, is a distraction from the real fights that we should be fighting, just like this book. And that's really what I really want to go to. But I do plan to make it like the Deviant video where I have people come in and have their own commentary. So once I get the script nailed down, I'll start sending out questions. But I'm excited about it. Look for that here probably in a week or two.
Awesome. And that's a very powerful message. You just can't get people to understand that, man. Like,
No.
don't you understand?
And the white man get paid off for all of that.
I am not your enemy. You are not my enemy. You know, we are both going to get fucked. you may think that you won.
And that is this book. Both the humans and the robots, both the humans and the robots get fucked, and that's how it goes.
What I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's get this. What's
I did watch Nobody's asked me about Starship Troopers, but yes, I did watch it. I watched it a couple.
Oh my God, that's over a week ago.
I watched it over a week ago. Actually, I forgot to mention.
Is that right?
It's a good movie. It holds up. I will tell you though. One thing I hated about the movie is I hated the 90s writing was very annoying. How they make I forget her name now, but they make the chick that is no, the other chick.
The other chick, okay.
So the main character is pining after Denise Richards' character, Carmen, but all the time he should be getting with the other chick. And I hate that. I really hate that. Like the whole time I'm cheering for this chick who should be the leader, who should be the hero, but instead she dies and they make this dumb fuck Rico the hero of the book. And he's a dumb fuck. I hate him.
Spoiler.
I did like the movie though. I did like the movie. But Rico is a stone cold dumbass, dude. How am I supposed to cheer for that dumbass motherfucker? He's so dumb. I hate him. All right, I'm done.
This is the era of the dumbass, though, don't you know? This is the time for the dumb to shine.
Yeah.
What's up, Mike? What's up, sir?
Hey, what up, homie?
Oh,
Data got fucked by a human.
Oh, doesn't sound very nice. Unless Data was into it. Another story.
All right. We got Phil's treehouse in the house as well. I don't know if you saw that, but what up, Phil?
Oh, I didn't see Phil. What up, Smart Books? What up, Phil? Good to see you anytime, any place, my friend. All right, what is good? You might ask. Well, let's find out. Coming right up. Top of the stack is another penultimate book. Gehenna number 1. This is from Patrick Kindlon, Patrick Kindlon, I'll get it right. And art is by Maruzio Rosenwig. Colors by Matteo Battani. Letters by Jim Campbell. And design, which is always important in these books now, because all these books have great designs to them, by Matt Battaglia. And this is, I remember having it as a penultimate book, and he was bemoaning the fact that most of these trailers for these books, if they do exist, are boring and not full of action. Hey, he took it to heart. I mean, this book is, I said it was a cross between Gun Honey, which I think is what is inspired it a lot, and an action movie. It just goes from, as you can see, panel number 1 is just like close up of a tussle going on, arms being broken, grappling for guns and shit, and it just goes from there. And the first part of this is like broken into 3 chapters. Is plan goes sideways, and this woman, I believe she must be named Gehenna. I guess there's not a lot of talking going on. There's some backstory given, but it was basically this woman has been forced into, I guess, vigilantism because of something that's been done to her. She's had her husband has been killed by, her husband worked as a security, and he was at a security job at a club and was killed by this rich guy. So my girl goes full on, like, Terminator, and like kidnaps the kid of the rich guy that had her husband killed. And the first issue is just her, like, taking out people, and not in a good way, just dragging the kid of the rich guy like all through the building, and they like get to a point where they have to like do the classic like jump from one building to another thing, and they managed to get that done. The artwork is, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people will love it, but I like it a lot. I think it looks really good. I mean, it's a lot of hatch work going on in there, which is cool, and it's a sexy book without being over sexualized, if that makes any sense. Because Gun Honey, though I did love the first series and some of the second and third series too, it tends to sometimes border on the soft core. It's like, if I wanted a Playboy, I'd go get one, but this one, it's you get some boobs, you get some butts, but you get also a good story going on and a lot of great art going along with it too. And the angles and the layout of everything is so cool. I'm surprised at how well it turned out, quite frankly. I thought it'd be okay and pretty good, but it's better than I thought it would be. And it leaves off at some point where she finally at the end they reveal what happened. It's all about revenge anyway. And it just shows some stuff at the end where previews of next issues. It almost is kind of like a Mad Magazine style in some ways. That was acting all crazy, making it dark, which is not bad because there's some great artists associated with Mad Magazine. And you can see like the covers for the next issues are going to be very much in the same vein. There's going to be a Maria Lovett topless one because Maria, oh my God, this actually not censored, so I hope I don't get thrown off of YouTube for that one. There's a lot of boobage in that one. This is actually for the first series. Yeah, I'm still trying to find that black and white 1 in 50 one right there next to the booby one. It's been out of stock at mycomicshop.com, so I'm not going to pay a lot of money for it. But if I can do find it, I get a good deal on it. But yeah, good. Gehenna is good. Gehenna better than I expected. Naked Aggression. I'll probably go with semi-naked aggression, except for that cover. So well done. Patrick Kindlin and Maurizio Rosenwig put together a really nice book. All the rest of the gang. Another one of the penultimate books, most recently, I think from last week, probably last week, week before last, because last week was Beneath the Trees. This one is the Illuminati. Probably the brainchild of everyone's favorite guy, Charlemagne Lagarde, who did not write it per se, but I feel like this is probably like his brainchild, and he came up with the concept, and is written by Brian Hill.
Brian Hill, yeah, he wrote Chariot. I love Chariot.
Brian Edward Hill wrote Chariot, yes, and penciled by the great Dennis Cowan from famous days at Marvel, and inked by the equally great Bill Sienkiewicz. So we got color by Marco Lesko and letter by And World Design, and the cover is Kieran Grant. I thought the cover was Sanford Green, but maybe it's a different cover. This is maybe the B cover. Yeah, I didn't get the A cover, but I thought Sanford Green was somehow involved in this issue. Anyway, this woman has a twin, and she was murdered in Hollywood. Well, she turned up dead, and they're saying it's like, the typical suicide overdose kind of a thing. She'd been in her apartment for days. Somebody had found her and all that. And you look a lot worse than this. You've been in your apartment for days for being dead. But they kind of cleaned it up for the book and everything. And the art by Dennis Cowan and Sienkiewicz inking it, man, it's so evocative of that great era in Marvel when these guys were working there. So this woman comes to Hollywood for her sister's funeral because she's trying to find out what happened with her. And they're exactly, of course, they're twins. They look exactly alike. And after the funeral, she gets an envelope delivered to her, the place that she's staying, from some mysterious person. And of course, being curious, she shows up there by herself, to this mansion, and she's you can see her like she's also a musician and an artist, so she is equally as talented as her deceased sister. And the person who invited her was this clearly a millionaire producer or whatever. And there's one small flaw in the writing where she gets the envelope. I don't know if I've read it a couple times to see if I was reading it correctly. She gets the envelope from the mysterious person to come to their mansion, but nowhere does he mention his name. And then later on, she mentions this person by name to another character. So I was thinking, like, is that something I missed, or is something maybe the editor missed, or whatever? But that's the only thing I found that was like, didn't quite sound cohesive in this story. But the art is really good. The meeting with the mysterious millionaire doesn't go super well because he starts to get a little creepy. You could have seen that coming. So she ends up leaving that meeting, and she ends up meeting with this other fellow, which is, I guess people just stumbling into her like, hey, I'm Michael. Who the fuck are you? I know who you are. I know you're looking for some information about your sister. And he's talking to her, and he mentions the other person with the mansion as being named Damien. And I was saying, like, she never said Damien anywhere in the story, but I guess maybe the person who at the mansion was so famous that everyone is like, it was Diddy. Everybody knows it was Diddy. I had to say it was Diddy. He was just so famous, it goes without saying. So I'll give it that excuse as far as that goes. And before it's all over, she's starting to like see visions of her sister, and I guess her sister is coming to her in dreams and stuff like that. And who knows what direction this is going to take as far as that part of the story goes. At the back, Charlemagne goes into a little detail about his love of comics and all that stuff. So he has his moment to shine and talk about, where it all comes from. So, overall, it's not a bad effort. I would give it another issue to see if it's really for me. There's more stuff in the back matter, sketches and things like that. But off to a decent start. Illuminati from AWA Artists, Writers, and Artisans. I want to check it out. Unless you just,
I like the team on that book.
Oh, I love the team.
I don't like the practice of using a celebrity to sell a comic book when that celebrity didn't actually write the book. I don't like that.
I know you made that very clear. But hey, you got to use every weapon in your arsenal when you're out here. As you say, when you're in a vicious cockfight, you got to keep your head on the swivel. When you're out here, you just got to use everything you got. So I understand him, doing it because he did come up with the concept, kind of like the Post Malone thing. I bet Post Malone wrote very little of that book. He's credited as a writer. How much did Keanu probably write of a Berserker? I don't know, some, but but I understand your complaint with it. Base Case, what's happening? Hey, Kirk. Yeah, man, I don't update my Instagram very much at all, as I've caught much flack for that. He's banned. I don't know who left the floater, but he's definitely been banned. But do you leave an upper decker? That'd be even worse. All right, the next book on the list. Let's keep it moving. We were just talking about Chris Condon last week. The goddamn tragedy. This one actually I like a little bit better. I like it a little. It's called News from the Fallout, and this is written by Chris Condon, with art by Jeffrey Allen Love, letters by Hassan Asmani Allahu, and designed by Michael Tibby. All right, and this is the A cover by Mr. Jeffrey Allen Love here. I love Jeffrey Allen Love's style. Some people might not like it. I know they probably don't because it's kind of very. It's almost like a black and white book.
Damien Connolly-ish. Kind of. I mean, some might see that as a pejorative, but I don't think it's that bad. I think you could say that. Yeah. And Mike loved Naked Aggression. What's up, Mike? Total Dragon Channel. It was like a Charles Bronson. Yeah, man, it's a total action movie vibe going on there. Absolutely fruitly. Yeah.
Yeah, Phil, that's what I'm talking about. I wasn't a Cleveland steamer either. Oh, look that one up in your fucking Wagnalls. All right. News from the Fallout. News from the Fallout. It takes place at a Gaines Army base. This Gaines Army base is an undisclosed location known as Atomic Alley, somewhere in southern Nevada in 1962. And what's going on here? You got this real dickhead general who's like commanding the troops. And he's just like it's almost like the Sarge in Full Metal Jacket. It's one of those scenes, man. He's just cutting loose and being a huge asshole. But it turns out there's this nuclear test going on, and these troops have not been told what is. Yeah, you just go out there and do what we tell you to do. Uncle Sam owns your ass, so get out there and wait for this bomb to go off. Yes, sir. There's one that's private going like, well, they know we're out here, right? Are you still going to blow the thing up or what? Shut up! Get back in line, private. So the test goes on, very much Bruce Banner, the Hulk kind of a style thing. But the test goes off, the bomb explodes, and all this majesty, and the troops are still there, and the fallout is just coming their way, and after a while, not only is the fallout coming, it looks like there's this whole like mess of like zombie-like creatures, only like not like Walking Dead lumbering, with cannon fodder type of zombies. You got these like very aggressive, like World War Z kind of zombies coming your way, and that's not a good day for anyone there. So my man, the private, who doesn't want any part of that, he hops in a Jeep and goes AWOL pronto. Starts heading for the hills, and he ends up at this diner somewhere down the road here, where he finds, and shit happens in there, and we go on to issue number 2. But man, it's a fun to read book, and it's very simplistic, which I like a lot about it. But it's also the dynamism of all the characters, and the action is very well done. It doesn't have to be super detailed. We're just speaking with our guest here, who is a really good colorist. The colorist here, I don't know what their job could have been as much. I guess more of us, because it's the art. There is no real colorist. It's just art only. You don't really need a colorist because it's all black and white, and he just provided all the aspects of it. And you could say it's a little Damon Connolly-ish, and there's a little airbrush-esque kind of a style to it. But yeah, I love it. I mean, I think it's a good book, and I will be checking out issue number 2, News from the Fallout. This is a little different than the books I've seen from Chris Condon Wright. That's what I like. He very often works with Jacob Phillips, who's much more a realistic kind of an artist. So it's kind of refreshing for me to see him using a different artist and this style here, and this different style of a book, and the writing with the military and the do or die, shut the fuck up and get back in line, soldier. I like that whole thing a lot. So what the fuck? I know, man. Just forget about it. This is a different generation. Kiddies, once upon a time, there were these things called dictionaries, and these dictionaries were put out by a company called Funk and Wagnalls, and it wasn't, maybe there were other, like Webster had a dictionary too, but Funk and Wagnalls was a very popular dictionary printer. So back in the days of Laugh-In, which was like in the 60s, one of the jokes they had was like, look that up in your Funk and Wagnalls, and everyone knew what it meant. But now people is like, what the fuck are you talking about? Okay.
I didn't know that.
So I just take for granted everyone as old as I am. Like, you know what that means, right? Oh, no, what the fuck is that? Did that come? If something didn't happen like, last week or 2-3 years ago, that shit is in the archive. That shit has like been filed away somewhere. Yeah, so am I. Did somebody pass gas? Where you're getting teary-eyed there, sir. Darn tootin'. There you go. Well, boys, what I'm talking about. Sock it to me. Oh wow! Even my beloved wife did not know what the fucking Wagnalls was. You know, she's wow. I never read a turtle book nor even seen them on screen. Oh, and there's no shame in that, Phil. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them, but no, not all of us are turtle fans. You can't all be fans of the same stuff. But we should all be fans of this one book right here. And it's called Don't Forget Your Briefcase. And this is one we talked about briefly. It's a Mad Cave joint a few weeks ago, written by Elliot Rahal, art from Philip Sevi, and the colorist is Nia Shadeva, and the letterer is Frank Sinkovic. Please don't hate me, Frank, if I mispronounce your name. Don't Forget Your Briefcase was like my surprise, favorite book of the week. I mean, I liked all these books here, but I just read this one probably like last night because I just got my comic shop order, and man, this is pretty good. This is everyone knows about the football, right? The football is the thing, the nuclear device that the president uses to hope the fucking never gets used, but these days you never know. Anywhere the president is, the football guy is right there. He's got the football in his hand, and in case you have to launch a missile from anywhere you in the world the president is, you can launch that fucker right from the football. There's this agent. She wanted to be. I think she wanted to retire, but for some reason they wouldn't let her retire. So what they're going to do, they're going to give her the job of being the custodian of the football. She gets to keep the football, and that doesn't sound like a very good job because she's not sure, if she ever gets any days off. She doesn't know if she has to wear a diaper in case, she has to use a bathroom or anything. So there's a whole bunch of shit goes into like being the carrier of the football. And it's a very humorous part where they go through the history of the football dating way back to Eisenhower, and they go through all the presidents one by one, and how they're talking about how important the football is, and how this burden should not be taken lightly. And she's sitting there like in an auditorium by herself, like, yeah. Oh, this is a shit job. It's all I can get right now. But moving on from there, there's this kid, and his mom works for she's a staff, works for the staff of the White House. And this kid is like, he goes to this like, prestigious school in DC or maybe in Virginia, I'm not sure, but a lot of the people who live in Virginia, they work in DC. But he goes to a school that's full of like a bunch of like little spoiled, rotten kids, and he gets bullied all the time. But one day, the man decides, like, you know what? I've had enough. He always carries a briefcase, like a little book satchel, which is probably one of the reasons that they rib him, because nobody carries those things nowadays. And the kids don't carry books. What are you, a nerd? And he comes to school, he puts a couple of bricks in his briefcase. They start fucking with him. He cuts fly. He cuts loose with his suitcase and just fucks this guy up. He puts him in the hospital. And then, of course, his mom has to come in and say, like, oh, he's such a nice boy. And, I didn't know you were being bullied. What you going to do, Mom? I got to handle it myself. I handle my own business. He's trying to be a man, and stick up for himself. And, she's taking him home, and everything happens. And she has to stop by the White House because there's some shit going on, I guess. And the president is making a speech. And as the president is making this speech, after he makes the speech, he's coming down the hallway, right? And he's being followed by the custodian of the football. And there's this hidden assassin that just takes out the president in such a cold-blooded way. It's just, you got to see it for yourself. And the football, it's like the classic mix-up, the classic Lucy, mix-up. Oops, the football gets dropped. His briefcase gets mixed up with the football's briefcase. Now the kids got the football, and they've hurried him and his mom out of the White House, and he doesn't discover that he's got this device until much later. They're sorting out the assassination of the president, and all this stuff is going on. And there's a twist I didn't see coming at the last page I won't tell you about. I think makes the book pretty interesting. Because other than that, except for the whole classic mix-up kind of a thing, you might see this a little bit formulaic. But there's a twist at the end that I think works out pretty well. So I will be picking up number 2 of this also. Don't forget your briefcase, or at least don't get it mixed up with some kid's satchel with a brick in it, if you can help it. So this is a good one too from the another house of ideas, Mad Cave Comics. And that is your What's Good for this week.
Very nice.
Yepper. Oh, yeah. That was good stuff, man. Eisenhower, man. Remember him?
That's a Kansas president right there, folks. Abilene, Kansas, to be exact.
And
His
real
presidential library is there. I need to go visit it still.
Real talk. When you talk about your father's Republican, that's Eisenhower right there. That was, he was the real deal. I mean, it was.
Well,
started doing dirty tricks after that. That's a whole different story. But Eisenhower warned us about.
Was he a Republican though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was. Okay,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and he was General Dwight D. Eisenhower, and a military man. Yeah, he warned us about the military-industrial complex, which has become a reality. He said, "Look out for that shit. It's coming. Listen to me now, hear me later." We didn't listen to him. So there you go. All right, so I'm gonna do the thing here, and we're gonna do the preview. Do you have a football? I don't know if they'd already dropped the bomb at that point, so maybe. I mean, because they dropped the bomb under his administration. Yeah, because
they dropped the bomb when he was in the army. It was under FDR, or no, it was under Truman. It was under Truman. I mean,
was it Truman?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was Truman first, or was it FDR? Or was it Eisenhower? Okay, maybe it was Truman. Maybe it was, but FDR. No, FDR died in office because he was in there forever, and Truman was his vice president. So okay, but maybe Truman did drop the bomb. Thank you. I would get FDR. I mean, I get Truman and Eisenhower mixed up sometimes, but Truman was not a military man, so that's the difference.
It was certainly Truman that dropped Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
So Truman did it, then Eisenhower possibly did have one. I bet you he did. Truman Library, yes.
Yeah, Eisenhower was fighting the war that we dropped it in.
Yeah. Well, he was earning his reputation as
he was in Europe though, not Japan.
All right, so what are we doing here? We're going to the preview. I'm going to present the new comics this week. And there we go. And here we are. All right, so Absolute Batman. Is it 7:30 already? Jesus, Louises. Absolute Flash. All the absolutes. They're all good. Absolute Flash has been a little bit long and getting to the point. Maybe now in issue number 5 is finally gotten to that point where it's like revealing some stuff that we have not heard before. I'm surprised you're not putting that World's Finest. Batman, Superman, World's Finest. I actually like the ones that I've read of that.
I read the Superman book today. What was it? The big book, the 70-pager. It was pretty good, actually. Bruno Redondo was on the art. I like it.
You mean that Treasury edition?
Yeah, it was good. I'm going to buy it.
I saw it in the store, but I thought about buying it. It looked like it was probably cost $1 million.
Yeah, it's expensive, but I read it online and I liked it, so I'm going to buy it.
Okay. And I looked and I saw the Bruno Redondo art. I thought about you, how you like the Nightwing art in by Bruno Redondo.
I didn't realize it was him, but I was reading. I was like, this is Bruno.
Yeah. Bruno Mars. Invincible Universe, Battle Beast #3. They got to get that Invincible Universe out there so people know the big name is Invincible, and it's also a Battle Beast. So, you know, Invincible is carrying the thing. Oh my God, I love Ryan Otley's artwork. What is this cover here? It's like, is this like he's lying in like some falling in some lava or something? I can't really tell what's going on here with that. But anyway, that's the cover A. Got a Nakayama B. Was that?
The Swords Forward just mentioned the Truman Library is in Independence, Missouri. So we actually have 2 presidential libraries pretty close.
The Truman Library in Kansas City?
It's in Independence, actually, which is near Kansas City.
Missouri.
That's how they say it.
I know. They change everything. You know how that is. We always change.
Missouri education, man. What can you do?
And an American education. I like. If I didn't order that David Nakayama, I probably will find it somewhere. Cover. EJ Sue, who would dare betray Battle Beast? That's the whole plot. That's the whole plot. Who would dare betray Battle Beast? Because it's all just Battle Beast kicking ass and shit like that. It's just a fun battle book. You expect Battle Beast to have nothing other than that, you know? Zonzik? 1 in 25. Wow. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce that name again. Make it even worse. The Biz, number 1 in 100, Simon Bisley. Pretty brutal. Liam Sharp. Stay sharp. And they got that's pretty much all the notable ones there. Finicus Comics. Yeah, it's just all pretty much Battle Beast covered in blood, you know, grimacing and saying, "I will kill you now." Turtles, your favorite book there. Oh yeah, Phil's favorite book. Wonder Woman 23. I wonder if looks like our guy's still doing it. Tom King, most likely. Very likely. I've got Imperial #1. Have not even read Imperial #1. I've been meaning to read it, and I just got pushed behind, and I just haven't gotten around to it. Did you even pick that one up?
Yeah, I was just thinking to myself, I'm surprised you picked it up. What the?
I am too. I mean, I just thought it might be a thing. I don't know. I think the reason I picked it up because I got the Nightbird cover. Nightbird was on one of the covers. It was a very, very cool 1 in 50 that I did not buy, but I got the B cover that had her on there, mostly for that. But I am really, really trying to avoid buying new Marvel and DC, especially Marvel, but Marvel and DC stuff. The Cap was pretty good. I have to admit. I mean, I hate to admit that because Chip wrote it, but I'm still not gonna pull it.
I pulled it because of Chip.
I know. I can't. I pulled his last run. I just couldn't.
Daredevil.
Yeah, the Daredevil. No, and also the Batman. And I pulled his Daredevil for a while too.
I didn't really like either one of those, but I don't think it was Chip's fault.
Yeah. This is a lot of stuff I didn't know. That's why I should be more about history. They don't really play this up that much. They just only thing you ever see about Truman, if anything, is him holding up that newspaper with says Dewey defeats Truman. It's like you just they work that shit.
Sure. Is he talking about Henry Wallace? I think
he's talking about Dewey, Thomas Dewey. I mean, am I wrong on that, Truman?
Yeah,
Truman. I'm pretty sure it was Thomas Dewey. Henry Wallace, Henry Wallace was later on. I forget who he was.
He was FDR's vice president.
That's what that was. Yeah, you're right. Oliver Stone does a great piece on his American History series on how he stole the DNC nomination over a real populist. Okay, I didn't know that. Dewey was a populist. I didn't know that. Good looking out, Sorge. Huh. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, still looking at this crazy stuff here. Redcoat's coming back. Guy in the store today just talking about Redcoat and how he's missing it. So hopefully next week you'll see it.
Yeah, I got it. I knew it was Henry Wallace.
Henry Wallace was a populist against Truman?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was very progressive.
Huh.
I remember watching a documentary about it. That's how I knew his name.
Who was this Dewey guy that allegedly almost beat Truman? That was
the Republican in the general election.
Okay, so Wallace in the primary.
They were in the primary, right?
Okay. I did not know that. All right. Godzilla continues to fight the entire world and universe and two different two different publishing companies. What's happening with the world to come? You might ask. No, I was asking that shit. I'm really interested in this book to see what they do with it. Is it just going to be a flash in the pan, shock value kind of a thing? Or is it going to be something in the guts, something on the bone? The world to come and how it got that way is revealed. Oh, thank God. What is happening in Mexico? What does Everett K. Ross have to do with what's happening? And who is T'Challa's heir? T'Challa's heir is clearly going to be that baby who was in his wife's belly right there.
Yeah, it could be that white kid, right?
It's definitely going to be that white kid because they flash him backwards and forwards, and he's fighting the white kid like in the river, on the waterfall like they normally do. Okay, is it just me or does Richard Iznavov? He looked kind of like like Sean Penn's character from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Oh, naughty dude. Surf and turf, baby. First surf and turf. Jay and Soletto, a 1 in 25 for this one. Very, very cool T'Challa cover. Torrin Clark does a 1 in 100. Bam. Looks great, but we have a price range. He sometimes cannot help himself.
Yeah, I was just to read up on it. It was Henry Wallace was the VP, but he was considered to be too left, and so by a lot of the cabinet, and so they wanted him off the ticket for that reason, and they replaced him with Truman, knowing that FDR wasn't going to live past his term.
Well. Thanks for getting to the bottom of all that.
There we go.
Hey, there's Damien, my homie.
What up, Sleepy? Good to see you, my man. Mm-hmm. Always good to see you, brother.
And what is up, the man himself? Man, what is up, Bueller? Travis, how are you, sir? The traveling man. I'm a traveling man. I know. You tune to any comics and reviews, presidential history, no extra charge. You're welcome. Spicoli, yeah, just Spicoli, dude. Yeah. Fuck yeah. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a great movie.
Just Spicoli. Oh my God. I love that movie so much. Love it so much. I'm gonna get some clips from that. They don't get knocked off the air. Hopefully, we'll see. These Mad TV ones are working so far. I'll try. I got a couple more that I want to do from Mad TV, but might be a little controversial. I'm not known for controversy. Not me. All right, world to come. One of the few. I'll tell you. The world. This ends tonight. Wow. This. Who's writing this? Let's share this tab here. Jerry Dugan. Jerry Dugan is writing this. It's got 3 writers, man. Talk about too many cooks. Better be good. William Wyndham, Robert Wyndham, Kevin Lee. And Jay Lee is the artist. Yeah, he's the interior artist.
I like his art.
I do too. To be fair, not a big fan of his writing, but I love his art. I love his art a whole lot.
I didn't know he wrote stuff.
Oh yeah, he wrote this one book that I can't remember the name of it, but excellent art, not super great. All right, the pulse pounding comic event of the summer aims for your jugular, courtesy of master artist Jay Lee and Jerry Dugan. This ends tonight is the kickoff of 3 interconnected tales of bloody revenge in Las Vegas. The debut issue stars two sisters hunted by assassins for their shocking family secret. It's an oversized, action-packed romp, and every panel is crushed with love by Jay. The series is completed, and we've got some special guests too. Stay tuned for a beautiful Adam Hughes variant, oh I will, and sketch edition as well. This ends tonight. Okay, all right, so the pulse-pounding romp, you had me there. Hunted by Assassins, that's pretty cool too. Jay does several covers. This is a 1 in 10. Oh, he does a whole bunch of. Here's Adam Hughes. I would do the 1 in 50 Virgin variant for Adam Hughes. Interesting. Like it. I like it. I like a lot of his stuff though, so I'm not the one to ask about that. And the 1 in 500, Jay Lee.
Yeah, Sleepy. That's why I think I might go ahead and buy this one because he's right. I haven't seen Jay Lee on interiors actually ever. I've only seen him on covers.
Yeah. I mean, other than his book that he did, I don't think he did any. He doesn't do much interiors. I wouldn't say Bernie. Yeah. And where would we be now if Bernie was in office? Man, oh man. You can only imagine.
Flying cars.
Go that far. Wouldn't be in the goddamn swamps of Florida. That's for damn sure. Yeah, this is
alligator Alcatraz.
Kind of a sick fuck thinks of shit like that and thinks he's supposed to like jump on
and
the
then
board.
you got people going out and taking pictures of themselves with the sign, and I'm like, God help us. God help us.
No shit. No shit. All right, coming on back down here. Because I had to tell you, man, this was absolutely one of those weeks, and you know what kind of week I'm talking about. My man, the legend himself, the great character actor Slim Pickens. Not a whole lot to choose from.
Not a problem next week. Next week I have 16 books on my pool.
I hope so, man. Well, Ghost Pepper. Well, see, I may have spoke too soon, but a lot of them just didn't. I don't know. This is from Ludo Lullaby and Andrea Lucas. Okay. For fans of The Moon is Following Us and Battle Chasers comes an exclusive new action series from Rising Star Ludo Lullaby, and about forgotten heroes, cutthroat food trucks, and saving the world yet again. Humanity survived a monstrous threat, but the world isn't better for everyone. And that's how that works a lot of times. Every day, Loli hits the road to deliver her delicious cooking to the masses, outsmarting her treacherous competition and staying one step ahead of the massive robots protecting them all, quote unquote. But everything changes when she serves a mysterious warrior named Ash, whose secrets might just save the world if his superhuman strength doesn't destroy it first. And hilarity ensues. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like it could be all right. I'm not. And someone says the preview in the Transformers book, which I'm not reading anymore, sold them on it. Okay. Well, I don't know. This could be a game time decision. Just the whole Ghost Pepper thing kind of like threw me off. I hate Ghost Peppers anyway, but that could just be like generalizing. There's a nice R. Germ Lau cover here. So this could be like, I don't know, Food Truck Wars. There's a 1 in 10 Kale New. Ooh. The whole this is the whole like lined up mugshot thing is it gives so many possibilities with those kind of covers. This is a good one. This is a 1 in 10. I might look for that one. Joe Maduria of what's that? Battle Chasers. What we got here? 1 in 100 Yasmin Putri. Oh, you don't have to do that. Bless your heart. Thank you. Yeah, this is a little bit. I'd rather have that 1 in 10 than this one. This is all right. No disrespect. I like the 1 in 10 better. Okay, this will be a game time decision then. We'll see. Back to the countdown. All right, I just caught up on I Was a Fashion School Serial Killer. This is number 4 coming out next week. I think it's a 5-issue series. Still pretty good. The Tin Can Society, that's been gone for a minute. That's been gone for a while. I'll be glad to see that come back. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it suffer the fate of so many other good indie books that get like about 3 good issues, then it just disappears. You know, the picture of everything else. Rest in peace. That ever sees the light of day again? I'd be surprised. All right, this one here, man. I mean, I thought this had already come out. This is Post Malone's Big Rig.
It did come out. I think this is a variant. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe it was supposed to come out and it just didn't. Actually,
I think we only got the free comic book day one.
Yeah, you might be right. Because I actually didn't see, my shop hasn't been getting books, so I've assumed that my shop just didn't get it, but maybe it didn't come out.
Okay. It's a double-sized book here. I guess it's supposed to be the first one. Collects chapters 1 and 2. Post Malone's Big Rig. They prayed for a miracle. They got 25 tons and 18 wheels of Holy Weapon. Holy Weapon, Batman. The Dark Ages. Demon hordes plague Europe as hell invades Earth. The 6 Petals, a secret sect of the Knights of Templar, are in desperate need of a means to drive back the scourge and turn the tide of the onslaught. What crashes to Earth is the Big Rig. A fully loaded tractor trailer. In the aftermath of its arrival, the only man left standing is an enigmatic former priest excommunicated from the 6 Petals. He'll become trucker and lead the fight against hell behind the wheel of a demon-slaying machine. Okay, that's the only thing I thought, like, okay, when I read this preview, maybe the preview of the free comic book day didn't give me the whole story. I thought it was giving me like parts of the first story, but it seemed like, okay, who is this guy? How is he a priest? How does he know how to wear like a baseball cap? And it's his first time seeing a baseball cap. How does he know how to drive a big rig? And he's from the Middle Ages, so maybe, I don't know. There's a ton of covers here.
I don't think the guy's from the Middle Ages. Well, maybe he is. I don't know. I think he's time traveler going back in time. That was my impression, but I don't know if that's true.
Well, they didn't tell us that. I was supposed to know. I mean, if I didn't know that, a lot of people probably like, huh? What's going on? I mean, it just seemed, I don't know. I mean, your thing about celebrities and all that stuff, I mean, okay.
Yeah, but he's actually listed as a writer on this one, so that's different.
Okay. But
they'll give you writing credit.
Realistically, how much do you know did he write? I mean, okay. How much did he write?
I don't know.
Well, who is this? This is J.J. Villard. Kind of busy, but I do like it in a X-rated underground comics kind of way.
Yeah, I like it because it looks so indie.
It looks very indie. Look at that. It's melting. It's melting.
I like the 1 in 10 too from Daniel Warren Johnson.
EWJ. Oh yeah, that looks really good.
I kind of want that one, yeah.
If I were to get one, it would be this one.
Yeah, it's only a 1 in 10, so
yeah, definitely affordable. I'm sure they're making lots of them. So I'll give it another try, but I was not impressed by the free comic book day one. We'll see. Last chance, Post Malone.
Well, I like the Maria Wolf cover too.
Oh, I missed the Maria Wolf cover one more time. One more time. I like Maria Wolf a lot. I love her work. When is she?
Down shoulder.
It's
a retailer, yeah.
Oh,
it's a miscellaneous cover.
Oh, this is it. Cover B is that's Maria Wolf right there.
Very Maria Wolfy, yeah.
Yeah, I can almost tell her work right away.
Yeah.
One of those people you can look at her. Oh, Maria Wolf.
I like it. I like how it pops on the page.
It's kind of underrated too. I mean, a lot of her covers don't go for as much as they should, I think. Some nice piping hot water for my scratchy throat. All right. So I tell you, we reached that time finally, and it is time for the Penultimate Book. And let me see if I can get that going. Yep, you guessed it. It is time for the Penultimate Book. And that book this week is called Dread the Hall. Apparently, there's been like a Dread the Halls book before, which I think was about Christmas and something like that. So that makes sense. This one is yes, indeed. This one is about a comic book convention. And it's a one-shot. I think it's the first time the Penultimate Book has been a one-shot in a long time. So, and of course, unfortunately, they did not make a trailer. So let's just imagine that there is one. All right. It's comic convention season, folks. What better way to celebrate Comic-Cons than this extra-length anthology filled with con-related horror stories? Last year, they skewered all things Christmas on the pages of Dread the Halls, and now writers Chris Ryall and Jordan Hart, alongside artists Nelson Daniel, the dyslexia, Peter Kowalski, Jimmy Kukaj, and Chris Anderson, being terrified convention tales bring terrifying convention. Bring terrifying. 3, 2, 1. Take two. Bring terrifying convention tales to life. Covers by Maria Wolf, a convention line wrapped around by Nelson Daniel, and a con badge incentive cover by Jordan Hart. The perfect and perfectly terrifying comic to read while waiting to get into that massive convention hall. Look at that Maria.
Yeah, dude, that Maria Wolf cover is sold. So, I don't care what's in the book. Sold.
I know,
give me this thing.
I know. Look at that. Look at
dude,
that.
I love it, dude. Give me that book. Yes, you got me on this.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, speaking of Maria Wolf, I think I already pre-ordered this. This is the cover D, which is an open order book.
Dude, that cover is sick. I love this cover, dude.
This one is even more cooler. This is nice.
I need this.
Man, how hard does that woman work on these covers? She's definitely a throwback to the old, Mad Magazine, EC Comics kind of an era, when people put every stroke of ink, every stroke of the pen, every brush stroke was like with such precision. Comics for life. This is so awesome. Yeah. So
Oh, the Virgin variant is just a regular cover too.
That's what I'm
Please,
saying. It's open order. Anyone can have it.
please let my shop have this one.
Please let that's one of the things I love about a lot of the indie creators. Image being one of them. They'll give you the Virgin book without having to put logos and stuff all over it because they appreciate the art. This is a 1 in 10 Jordan Hart they were talking about with the con badge variant. Yeah, I'm surprised that Maria Wolf is not a 1 in 10. That's awesome. Yeah, I would be looking for this for sure. I didn't catch the last one with the Christmas references, but this is for sure my pick of the week this week for the penultimate book. Dread the Hall, #1, a one shot, and from Image Comics. So that is your penultimate book for this week, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Back to wrap this baby up. Dread the Hall is going to be awesome. I can already tell. How did I get that #1 of They Chose Violence? I've been hearing about that, and I haven't been able to find that. The AWA thing, I think I was at Gabby's. I couldn't even find it there. You got to get it online somewhere or something. It's Rome Eternal. Jeez. Endless Night, #2. #1 was pretty good of that. That was also a penultimate book. The last book we're going to look at is Rebel Moon Nemesis. I was thinking this is Nemesis, like Nemesis from the Image world. You remember that guy?
It's Dark Horse now because it's Mark Miller and he moved to Dark Horse.
Okay, yeah, but that character, it started on Image and moved to Dark Horse, is like this evil Batman by Mark Miller. But this is different. This is like another movie. Zack Snyder is the writer of it, and all the story from Zack Snyder, and the writer is Gail Simone. And this is a whole different story, a brand new comic series that recounts the origins of Nemesis, not the one you're thinking of, taking place before she became the sword-wielding cyborg assassin. This is an action-packed and badass story in the style of a revenge western in which an innocent woman finds herself in the path of Imperium soldiers who slaughter her family. ... There's more coming. Like she's got those 2 flaming swords. There's a movie that I'm not aware of that and KO knew is a cover artist on this cover here. I guess that this is based on. And this guy says, this person, I legitimately forgot this movie existed. I never knew it existed. People say, I've been waiting so long for this. My first time seeing it. KO New has a Virgin variant. Have you ever heard, anybody in the chat ever heard of this movie?
I love Gail Simone though. She's a great follower on Twitter.
For sure. You're a fine writer, a former editor, maybe still be an editor at DC. I'm not sure. This is Alice Meshi Lee. And another good one here. Oh, that's pretty much the same one. Danny Earls. Cover B, Danny Earls. So, very cool looking covers, and sounds like a kick-ass book, and it's got some people looking forward to it. But hey, I never heard of it. I don't know if I'll buy it, but I will look for the movie. I'll give you that.
Yeah. Oh, it's Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon. Okay, yeah. I never.
Now you know who it is, huh? Okay.
I didn't see the Rebel Moon part. I just saw yeah. There was a Netflix movie that apparently sucks.
Rebel Moon?
Yeah, I didn't hear anybody that liked it.
Well, a couple of them in the chat here. Not in the chat, but no, definitely in the feedback. Yeah, Netflix movie. That's what Wellbore is talking about. Yeah. Oh, okay. Alan Parsnips. I see what you did there. All right, so man, that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for this week. And we came in, if not under the radar, not too far under the wire, not too far over the wire. So thank you for sticking with us, and thank you for not smoking. All right, what you got going on next week, son? What's your life look like?
Same thing as always, down to just the 2 shows, which I'm good with. Monday nights with JP Budget Collecting, where we talk about the top 10 list and whether or not you should cash or trash, mostly trash. And then back here next week for another new Comic Book Day show.
You got it. Yeah, so man, that sounds great. Next week we will not have a guest. Week after we probably will, because I contacted the person. They said it works for them, but we'll see what goes on. But yeah, I'll put the link in the description for our guest's book for Hellstones. And yeah, help this guy out, and if we can help someone out get their Kickstarter going, it's a good day. Action is my reward, as they say. Swing off to the sunset.
If you want to see indie comics, you got to support indie comics.
You know it. So I tell you, good to see all you folks who stopped by on the, in the chat, and those who watch on the replay. We love you. Thank you for doing that. And God willing, and the creek don't rise, as I always say, to some people's regret, we will be back again next week. And take care of yourselves. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. Read your comic books and have fun. Peace and love, everybody. Peace and love, and good night.
We love you, Denver! City by the Bay! John Denver!
Is a fire really necessary?
Ask them.